Welcome back to the Ink and Imagination podcast. Today we'll dive into the article, Book Reflection, When Breath Becomes Air, an exploration of life and death's meaning. We often think the meaning of life is an abstract concept, something understood only through deep reflection or great works of literature. But for Paul Kalanithi, both a neurosurgeon and an exceptional writer, the journey to find that meaning extended beyond the pages of books. It permeated every surgery, every breath, and every moment standing on the edge of life and death. When Breath Becomes Air is not just a memoir of a young doctor diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. It is a profoundly human work that delves into the essence of what it means to live, touching life and death. Reading this book, you will see Paul Kalanithi not only as a talented doctor, but also as a deep thinker. He did not pursue medicine for money or fame. He chose this path for a far more profound reason. He wanted to understand the meaning of life and death, two seemingly opposing forces that are, in fact, inextricably intertwined. Facing patients caught between life and death, Paul realized that a doctor's role went beyond healing. It also involved accompanying patients and their families on a journey to discover the meaning of their lives, even in their final moments. He wrote, "A doctor is not just a healer. A doctor must help their patients live fully with what remains, whether in health or in the painful proximity of death." Paul's story is not merely the professional journey of a doctor, but the personal odyssey of a human confronting his deepest fears. The marvelous contrasts. One of the most striking aspects of When Breath Becomes Air is how Paul describes the contrasts in life. The human brain, with its slimy appearance and mere 1.3 kilograms weight, contains everything that makes a person human: memories, emotions, aspirations, and the deepest of secrets. Through countless surgeries, Paul touched this extraordinary organ and grasped its fragile yet monumental essence. This feeling is vividly depicted. When holding a scalpel against the brain, I wasn't just touching tissue. I was touching the patient's childhood memories, images of their family, and unfinished dreams. A single wrong cut, and all of it could vanish. The contrast between the brain's immense power and fragility mirrors Paul's own life. As a top neurosurgeon, he stood at the pinnacle of his career, yet with the diagnosis of terminal cancer, his life swiftly shifted from that of a healer to a patient fighting his own disease. From doctor to patient. The second part of the book delves into Paul's transition to a different phase of his journey, facing his own death. As a doctor, Paul knew better than anyone the devastating effects of lung cancer. Yet this knowledge only heightened his awareness that intellect and reason could free him from the physical and emotional torment of his illness. He wrote, "As a doctor, I thought I understood the meaning of death. But as a patient, I came to realize that death is not just a concept. It is a harsh reality that submerges you in fear, doubt, and sometimes helplessness." Paul did not merely write about his own pain, but also about the small, meaningful moments he cherished. The laughter of his young daughter, the love he felt from his wife, and even the sunlight streaming through the hospital window. All these things made him treasure each moment of his remaining life. Love amidst the darkness. While illness brought immense suffering, Paul did not let it overshadow his love for his wife, Lucy, and their daughter, Katie. In the book's final chapters, as his health declined, love became the strength that kept him going. Paul wrote about their decision to have a child, even knowing his time was limited. "I didn't want to leave this world without leaving a part of myself behind. I wanted my daughter to know that even in just a few short months, she gave my life its greatest meaning." Paul and Lucy's story is not a perfect love story. It is full of conflicts, doubts, and pain. Yet in their darkest moments, their love shone brightest. When Breath Becomes Air. The title, When Breath Becomes Air, is a poignant play on words. It reflects the moment Paul took his last breath and transitioned from life to death. It also signifies the transformation of his journey, from a driven doctor to a patient facing mortality, and ultimately to an author leaving behind a profound legacy. The book concludes with Lucy's reflections after Paul's passing. She describes his departure not as a sorrowful ending, but as the closing of one chapter, opening the door to a new significance. Paul is gone, but what he left behind, from this book to the memories in the hearts of those who loved him, will live on. Conclusion. When Breath Becomes Air is more than a memoir. It is a deeply human literary work, a journey to find the meaning of life through the lens of someone standing at the intersection of life and death. After reading this book, you will not only understand Paul Kalanithi's journey, but also find yourself asking, what is the meaning of life to me? Perhaps the answer lies not in grand abstractions, but in how you live each day, in the small yet precious moments that you often overlook. If you are searching for a book that will make you reflect deeply on life, read When Breath Becomes Air. This is not just Paul Kalanithi's story. It is the story of all of us. Hope you enjoy this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support us. What about you? Have you read this book yet? What are your thoughts on it? Let me know in the comments below.